Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel, Nia Talks. I might change my name soon. I don't know what I'm gonna do on YouTube, but we'll figure that out. So I'm gonna talk about the Wendy documentary. I'm only gonna talk about pieces that stood out to me. I didn't write notes, I didn't do anything like that, so don't think that this is gonna be organized. I'm just gonna talk about pieces that I thought that stood out to me and my best friend when we were watching it. So one piece that I really keep thinking about is when the producer had a sit down with Wendy's niece. And during the sit down, they were just like talking about Wendy. I guess, like, she was crying. She was expressing, like, my aunt is not acting the way she normally does, blah, blah, blah. And the I think Wendy's niece started talking about how, she's used to having like food in the fridge, this and that. And then out of nowhere, you have a producer go, "Oh, check the fridge. Go check the fridge." And she's just like, "I don't want to check the fridge. I'm good. I don't want to do that." She's overwhelmed. She's crying. And then you have a producer go, well, camera guy, whoever's behind the camera goes, "Well, there's nothing in the fridge." And I'm like, why would y'all do that to her? It was so confusing. I start off saying this because I was so confused during the documentary as to, I don't know if this is good. I don't know if this is bad. I don't know if they really care about her. I don't even know if they don't care about her. I could not figure it out. And it feels like the documentary was trying to show that the family cared about her, but at the same time, they were kind of showing that they didn't care about her, care about Wendy themselves with production and the way they produced things, the way that they came in on her. And I was just like, yes, Wendy was being the rudest that I've ever seen. And I've been to the Wendy Williams show. Like, I literally had Wendy tell me to, like, pull down my skirt. Like, she's very uptight. She wants, like, everything to be nice and clean. Like, I was sitting in the audience. This is a tangent. But I was sitting in the audience and, like, I was so happy and stuff. And I had shorts on. And she was just, my shorts were showing, and she told me to pull it down, and she was like, "Great job, whatever, like, you did good." And that was it. We had a small little interaction. But you could tell, like, she is very, like, she wants everybody to look their best on TV. It was nothing bad. So I get her being very, like, not naggy, but being very, like, blunt. But at the same time, it was pretty bad the way she was treating people. I would say the kindest person was the nail tech. She was so sweet. The nail tech, her niece, I would say her nephew, her niece, her nephew, and the nail tech, I saw genuine moments. Like, obviously the nail tech wasn't that close to her, probably just met her. But the way that she did not react, I would have went off on Wendy if she talked to me like that and called me stupid. That's crazy. When she called her stupid, I was like, how's she just calm about this? But you could tell she knew something was wrong with her, and she was just there for the job and going home. So I commend that nail tech, whoever you are. If you're out there, you can do my nails as long as it's not too expensive, because you were really nice and genuine and sweet for what that woman was going through and how that woman treated you, which was wrong. So that's that with the nail tech. But yeah, so with the producers being a little sketchy, even when Wendy's, like, they said, "Oh, her eye, you should have seen her. Her eyes were rolled in the back of her head." It was about the way they said it. Like, they said to, I think it was to Will before he came in the room, that you should have seen her. Her eyes was rolled in the back of her head, kind of like it was funny. And I didn't like Will in the beginning, and I still kind of don't like him. But he tried to. I think he was faking his actions later on, trying to hide alcohol. This and, you're right. I didn't really like him because he was laughing about Wendy's situation. And I also was just like, who is Will? I've seen DJ Booth. I've seen, what's his name, Norman, and everybody else. I've seen them be around Wendy. I don't know how close, but I've seen them be around Wendy, like, on the show and at parties and stuff. But it's just interesting because I never seen her jeweler. All she does is talk about her jeweler on the show. Once again, I've been to the show. I loved the show when it was happening. It was great. It was like during the pandemic times when it was easing up, and I was so lucky that I could still go to her show. I was very happy I went to the Wendy Williams show. But she's never talked about the name of her jeweler. So to see that her jeweler is her manager is odd to me. It was giving that her jeweler and her publicist were straight up evil. They are evil people. I don't think that her jeweler should be her manager. The interactions that they had were pretty creepy when she kind of told him to come up to the room after the interview in a flirtatious way, and he laughed about it. And then she said the other woman who was there to come up to the room, that was a little weird. I didn't like that. Remind you, Wendy's not in her right state of mind, but still, it just was like weird. And then I didn't like how the camera. Let's go back to the camera people. I didn't like how they just kept showing her feet. Like, y'all want to have her family talk about, you don't want people exploiting her and just showing her feet all the time and talking and thinking it's funny, but yet you have the Lifetime team, whoever was producing this, you had them showing her feet all the time. It was weird at random moments. Like, it'll be random moments. I don't care if it was to fill in some time blanks, but you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that, but you did. So I feel weird about that. I think that her niece is very genuine. I really hope that, they are still in contact, but you could tell the way that the family changed whenever they had interaction with Wendy. I think that her niece was the realest with her, and I will say that. I feel like at the end, let's skip to the end where that phone call happened, where it was her sister talking on the phone with her niece's mom, I assume, the aunt, was talking to Wendy on the phone, supposedly and allegedly was talking to Wendy because they couldn't find where she was at. And basically you could tell her tone shifted, and how she was just like, write it down, journal it. Like, it felt like she was trying to give the hint that Wendy forgot something, and she just told her to write it down and journal it. And then they said she was doing better, and I was like, but y'all just said how y'all was concerned about her health, etc. What you mean she's doing better, but you haven't even seen her? So it was a little odd to me. I didn't like that interaction. That to me was very, very weird. So let's get to who I really, really, really don't like. What's her name? Sean. And they called her the black. When Wendy called her the black girl, I was. Let's go back. So Sean is her publicist, and I don't know how or what a publicist is supposed to do, but I know what Sean was doing was not it, and it was given like Sean was the loser in school, and I'm not saying that she is, but I'm saying it was. I know this situation when she was like the loser in school all throughout her life, and then she comes around Wendy Williams, who is popping and has fans and has fandom and like just money, and you come around that type of person, and that person is telling you what they want, and it's like, oh, you want to be famous, so you just go with it, if that makes sense. Like, when you go from being a loser to being on TV and you feel good about yourself, you're not going to care about what's right for that person. That's what I'm saying. She's using Wendy, in my opinion. I did not like what I was seeing from her. I thought it was weird. I thought it was weird that Wendy treated her like a slave, period. I did not like that. It was very confusing when Wendy would talk about, I think she said, like, I love being black, but she said something like, I love white people, and then she goes to say other types of people and races and genders and sexualities. That was weird to me, and it wasn't shocking. Wendy is very uncensored, which is great, but at the same time, a little bit, no, just ignorant. Wendy said some ignorant things that I say I don't like. I like it when she's being real, but I don't like the ignorant things that come out of Wendy Williams' mouth, even before she started losing it, her memory and all that, and the divorce and everything. I feel like it's a little too much, but that was weird. So going back to calling her the black girl, Sean, she's the worst publicist I've ever seen. I think the worst part for me was when she said that Wendy was scared, so she took her to LA to do all this. Meanwhile, she's a publicist. She took her to LA, one, because that's where she's from, but then on top of that, she took her to LA so that she could get another TV gig. And I was like, that's not cool. You gonna show her around, show her feet, and think this is funny? Like, it's not. It's very serious. Even if she doesn't even think it's funny, it's more about the fact that she's letting that happen, and you're just a publicist. You shouldn't have even been able to leave with her outside of New York. That shouldn't even happen. So you got Will all upset, right? I think Will was just upset because he was like, I don't want the Guardian to take me away from being her manager because of what you're doing. And it feels like Will feels like, as what's her name? Sean, the publicist, is becoming more of the manager because she will give her what she wants, regardless if they're on TV or not. So that's why I feel weird. I feel like Will was okay, the jeweler. He was okay with stuff that Wendy was doing, but because now it's on TV and that's dealing with his money and the guardianship, like the Guardian's gonna be looking at him. Now he's getting all weird about it. I don't think he has the best intentions for Wendy. At the end of the day, if he wasn't getting paid by Wendy Williams or her team or whoever, he would not be there. He would not be there. I'm telling you now, this is the thing that you need to understand about this business and this world. Managers, makeup artists, whoever, anybody who's your life assistant in doing things, they're not doing it because they really like you. They're doing it for money. They would not do it for free. Maybe a crazed fan would, maybe, but I doubt it. Eventually, they would want compensation. That is the way this world works. It's a business. Nobody cares about you. So yeah, seeing the publicist like that, Sean, I don't like her. I don't even like her hair. And once again, love black girls, love hair. But I'm saying I don't like her hair is because I'm just like, Wendy was telling her she liked her hair the way it was. And I was like, No, like the little chop that she had with the no, Sean, her hair was not right. And one part that really stuck out to me was when she sat on the couch next to Wendy's niece and was doing that whole thing with her nose and sniffing and stuff. And I was like, it just seemed like she was on one. And I'm not gonna say what that one is. I'm gonna say that allegedly, whatever. She was on some stuff, some stuff, sugar boogers. I don't know, but it was like I was very shocked that that even was she did that on TV, the way she was rubbing her nose and all that. And like, yes, we all have our nose itches and stuff like that, but you know that was a different type of itching. I was like, your nose is burning. I ain't like that. And once again, you have somebody who's enabling somebody with alcohol and drug usage, and I'm just like, I don't like that. I'm like, why would you order her 3 drinks? Like, you see how frail she is. You see what she's going through, and I feel that I have family members who deal with alcoholism. I feel that Wendy is just trying to mask the pain that she is in physically and mentally. That's how I feel. I don't know if that's true, but that's how I feel about the situation. She's masking pain. I have empathy for Wendy Williams, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be not realistic about it. Like, it's wrong. It's not gonna help her. It's hurting her and family members and people around her because they love her. The people that don't love her, they're just going to give her alcohol and send her about her way. They don't care about her livelihood. They don't care about her life. She still has a life to live, and she should be able to live it. Like, don't take that away from her just because y'all want money. That's what I can't stand that. So it was a real eye-opening documentary. There's more points to talk about that I would love you guys to put in the comments. Please put them in the comments. Like, I love hearing what you guys have to say. Just be respectful to each other. There's a lot more to talk about. I'm just doing that because I want to keep it in my 10-minute frame, which I'm going out of. Remember to like and subscribe. It's a free way to support the channel, to get the algorithm going, to see other things about Wendy if that's what you like to see. And yeah, I enjoyed the documentary. I'm also confused about it as well. I have more questions. I have more curiosities, but I definitely don't want to see Wendy Williams on the screen for a long time. I want to see her get better. I want to see her with her family, honestly, and I do give her family the biggest grace. Her publicist and her manager, absolutely not, and the guardianship thing is super weird. So let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great day, everyone, and I'm going to keep making more content. Bye, you guys.